masterpiece knockoff review. Today I'm taking a look at the Lamborghini Countach LP500S Lambor G2 version. This is the Mp-12G. Now this is of course a knockoff. I reviewed the original Takara release just down here. Here's the link, pretty along here somewhere. Yeah, I saw this pop up and I thought, oh, let's give it a go, shall we? It was about 20 quid. The eBay guy who I got it from, I'll put his link down here. But I've since discovered they do sell this as well at Sir Toys, who have a much quicker shipping method. So should have gone through those. Ordered this about 2 or 3 weeks ago and it took a little while to get here. Taking a look at the box. The box itself is pretty much identical to the original release, although it's not been printed as well. It's kind of pixelated slightly around here, and it doesn't quite look right. It just kind of looks like these have been stuck on. My Takara box is up in the loft, so I can't compare it directly, but something's a little bit off with it. If you saw it next to a Takara box, you could definitely tell the difference. Obviously, you've still got your stamp on the side here, and there's like an indentation. If I can get you, you probably can't see it. There's got an indentation along here with the code on. But other than that, I mean, it does look pretty much exactly the same, apart from these slight printing errors. It's just, I don't know, it's just not printed correctly. I don't think it's almost slightly blurry, but yeah, it's really difficult to pick that out. But we didn't come to review a box, we wanted to see how good this knockoff is, so let's get inside the box and take a look. Here he is out of his plastic prison, and he looks exactly the same as the Takara one. You do get the leaflet included, obviously the instruction manual, and unlike the other KOs that I've got, the instruction manual is in full colour. Let's just take a look. I mean, I say it's exactly the same. We even get the sticker sheet. So, yeah. Interesting. But yeah, the instruction sheet looks exactly the same. There's all this big hoo-ha about, are these knockoffs, are they factory seconds, or so I can't think whose review it was, but somebody mentioned on YouTube about the moulding points being slightly different on the back of the heads. So we'll take a look when we have a look at this guy and see if the injection points are exactly the same, and if they are, then possibly maybe these are taken from the factory. If they are different, then obviously they are a completely new mould. The card is same as. Yeah, see, I don't know. The card, the text just look a little bit blurry, and it might just be me trying to pick out flaws because it's a knockoff. And the sticker sheet, well, the sticker sheet looks exactly the same in my opinion. I will be doing him up in the complete G2 setup, I think. With the other Sideswipe, my G2 Sideswipe, I just put the Autobot logo on the front. This guy gets the whole Shazam. Right, let's open this up. It's exactly the same as the original, it's just taped in 2 places, and you've even got a production code along the side of the plastic shell. Let's get him out of the box. First impressions, he feels like a masterpiece Sideswipe. Get the sword, and he's got his shoulder weapons. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail because I covered all of this in my G2 review, but we'll just take a look just to see how these kind of scrub up. Yeah, they are absolutely perfect, aren't they? Let's get the originals to compare. Just so I don't forget, the originals are on the right, the knockoffs are on the left. There is some differences. If you look, the kind of the original, has kind of this darker shading, better paint apps along the top here. They are quite noticeably different in colour. The The grey section looks to be slightly better painted, this section here. It looks a little bit thicker than it does on this section. The moulding nub on the back here, it's very small where the injection moulding's gone in, and on here it's kind of almost blistered. But all in all, I mean, the lines on the original actually look a lot clearer. There's not so much distinction on the replica. There's some battle damage along the paint on the gun of the G2. This one's still quite shiny. Again, this area here is a lot lighter in colour than the original. Handles look pretty much the same. Although, what's interesting, if you look at the original handle, it's a silver handle painted black. If you look at the knockoff handle, it appears to be a completely separate black piece. That's kind of interesting. And on the front there, again, slight difference in moulding there. If you look at the original, you've got this section just up here. That does actually look quite different. It's kind of just an indent here, and this whole section has these grooves going all the way down the front. So these aren't factory kind of stolen from the factory. These are in fact completely kind of copied. So right, let's take a look at the rest of the weapons. Right, let's take a look at the gun. First impressions, the original here. If you look on the inside lip of the replica gun, I don't know if you can see here, but on the inside of the knockoff there's like these silver grading lines, and on the original that doesn't exist at all. Let's have a look. The red on the original is a lot deeper. The guns actually do look a lot cheaper. They look like they've been kind of rushed out. The mouldings aren't the same at all. They look very similar. Again, with the Takara, it's a painted piece of silver plastic, and on the knockoff it's black. On the side there, slightly different screw. Again, these lines are slightly different. The handles appear to be both very similar. Again, the injection points are slightly different. You've got the injection point actually on the original does actually look a little bit sloppier than what it does on the knockoff. And again, round to this side, it's just basically the detailing. The detailing is a little bit clearer with the original. And the swords. Let's take a look. Again, these do actually look slightly more realistic, like they've actually battle damaged. These look like they've literally been done by a machine to... does that make sense? They look tidier, I guess, on the G2 knockoff. Again, the injection point there, you can't actually see the injection point on the original, and you can see the injection point on the knockoff quite clearly. Yeah, and there's actually a lot more damage on this side. And taking a look at the hilts, it's just a different shade of silver as well, where this one's actually a lot darker, and I think they're pretty much exactly the same size. So yeah, there you go, there are similarities and there are differences with both weapon sets, but let's take a look at Sideswipe himself. And here they are together. You've got the original and you've got the knockoff. First impressions, they do look very similar. So you've got the darker sections here more prominent on the original than they are on the knockoff. If we take a look at the badge, I know we've looked at this with pretty much all of the knockoffs. Got the badge here on the front, if I can get you in focus. Come on, focus in. There we go. You've got the badge there on the front, and if you look at the knockoff badge, it's kind of a blob. The actual paint applications on the knockoff aren't as clean as they have been with the other knockoffs either. They are slightly, you can see there, it's I don't know, it's not as good as they have been. Taking a look at the paint applications, you can tell that Takara, there is a lot more effort gone in. I mean, they've got this shading. It's not just a flat colour like it is with the knockoff. For some reason my wheel doesn't want to turn on the knockoff either. I don't know if that's the way that the bonnet hasn't lined up properly, or I'll have to investigate that when we transform a little bit. Bearing in mind he is fresh out of the pack, I haven't had a chance to play around with him yet. I think this paint application is pretty much the same throughout. It's not quite there, it's almost slightly cloudy. Taking a look at the back, you can't really see from this angle. There. This is the knockoff, this is the Takara. See, the text again is quite different on the back. It does appear to be spelt right, it's just a different font, slightly different sizing. You've got the hollowed out exhausts there on the knockoff. The original has filled exhausts. Come around to the other side. Same with the wheels again. The knockoff has a clean paint application, whereas the original has kind of a dirtier, almost shading to it. Taking a look on the top here. I mean, visually, without having the two together, you wouldn't really be able to tell a great deal from this. Trying to see if there's any injection points for any of the moulding. I believe we've got a small one at the front here. Nothing on the Takara. I know I have a lot of knockoffs, and I've been getting a lot of knockoffs recently, but I really can't recommend you get the Takara moulds enough. I do prefer all of my Takara moulds, and without those we won't have these knockoffs, so please make sure you keep buying these Takara moulds. All in all though, in vehicle mode it's very, very difficult to distinguish the two unless you have the other one to hand. So I don't know if it's going to be a common fault with these wheels. Maybe if I transform it a little bit back and from, I'm not sure. But it doesn't seem to want to turn very... there we go. We've just loosened it up a little bit. It was just rubbing against the interior of the bonnet there. But it does feel pretty much the same. It's just those niggly little bits, like the injection point on that door there. I mean, look at that. That's obviously where they've injected that in there, and you know that's a big dent. It doesn't feel as good as some of the other KOs. I mean, that KO Tiger Track that I had, that's phenomenal. This just, it feels good, but it just feels like they've kind of rushed it out a little bit just to compete with the Takara G2 mould. Whilst I've got him in vehicle mode, I'm going to apply some of those G2 stickers, and then we're going to get him transformed into robot mode and compare that bot mode. I'm going to show you this before I rip all these back off again and throw them in the bin. First of all, the stickers on the knockoff are completely off. If you pull off the Autobot logo, half of him is left behind. And they're made of such a thin and flimsy material that you can see all of the paint underneath. You don't see any of the detailing, so I'm going to pull these all off, and I'm going to get myself some repro labels, because these are awful. Just a word of warning, people, just a word of warning. Right, I'm going to quickly rush through the transformation. It's the same with every version of this mould, so we'll quickly go through it. If I encounter any problems, I will stop, but it's just a matter of pulling kind of everything out. If you want a full detailed transformation guide, then please feel free to view my original Sideswipe review, or my G2 Sideswipe review, or any of the Sideswipe reviews that I have done. Okay, first encounter, the bonnet is kind of a bit stuck there. Let's make sure those wheels are folded in, yeah. Make sure the arms and that are in. Okay, it doesn't. Oh, that's a big stiff hinge there on that. Just making sure that doesn't snap on me. Okay, he's got a head. He's got a head. That's always a good sign. So let's pop these arms up. Let's fold these up. Let's open them up and get the hands out, like so. Let's do the same with this side. Open it up. Pull this up. Pop this open. Flip the hand up. There we go. He's got some arms. Spin that round. Rotate. Spin that round. Rotate. Right, let's crack on with the legs. Open up. Open up. Let's lift this back section up. Reveal the feet. Pull those open. Like so. Just come around here. Flick that round. That round. That round. Like so. Flick this up. Oh, the paint has been put on here quite thick, so it's kind of difficult to move some of these areas. Oh, unfold the leg, fold this section down, split those open. There we go. That goes down. That goes down. How well are you going to peg in? That was the main problem we had with those other KOs, wasn't it? It's basically things not pegging in as they should, especially when we got round to the waist section. I mean, that was just, wow, that was a big letdown, wasn't it? I mean, I've managed to, the Tiger Tracks mould was, like I say, impeccable. That was fantastically done, but my gold swipe, that was a bit of a push to try and get that section in, and I kind of gave up all hope in the end, didn't I? But I'm glad I'm not the only person to have experienced these problems. I've been asking around, and it pretty much seems the done thing with the knockoffs. But things don't just quite peg into place correctly. What am I doing here? What have I done wrong? Doesn't want to peg in there, does it? Come on. Right, first problem I've encountered. This bit here is a little bit warped. It does kind of peg in still, but it's not perfect by any means. Let's fold the feet down. So they're the legs. Let's come around to the waist, fold the waist section down. Now this is going to be the fun part. Right, fold that piece. And lift this up. Make sure this piece clicks in first. That's going to be our first big mission, is to get this section here to click into here. Right, that's in. Now, this is the question. Does the bonnet fold down and peg in? It would appear not. Quickly fold these back sections round and in, and flop that round like so, push that in, and yeah, so we've pretty much got exactly the same problems we've had with all the other versions of this mould. I don't know what they do differently, why they make it, just like that tab inside there, it's just too thick. It will not plug into the bonnet at all. He's not terrible. Obviously we've got the accessories to pop on his shoulders. Just pop those in. Well, that's kind of loose, and pop it in this side, like so. The head, almost like the paint application, is just too thick on that head. That will not close any more than that. I'm so glad I've got the original. No, I'm not. You know, this is good. It's going to make a really good custom. I could even like do him up as like some sort of zombie, something like that. It's just it's the fine detailing that I'm starting to notice, like the paint applications, the kind of mistakes they've made with the moulding. But yeah, let's kit him up with all his weapons, and we'll compare him to the original. Here they are both together, guys. Look, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not impressed by the KO of G2 Sideswipe. The reds are slightly off. You can probably see from this angle actually the red on the KO is a lot darker. The plastic doesn't seem as good, doesn't seem to click in as well. You've still got the problem with the chest. It's wobbly a lot. Everything kind of wobbles on him. None of the guns hold into the hands. The shoulder pads don't stick in. I mean, you take the original Sideswipe. Look. Earthquake test! Nothing moves. Let's try. Knockoff swipe. Earthquake test! I mean, even the joints are slightly loose. I'm normally a big fan of these KOs because they really have kind of filled out my collection as like cannon fodder, and as masterpiece figures go, they are good. But I'm not entirely sure if the price difference warrants the quality difference. I mean, what you're looking about £60 for G2 Sideswipe, which is probably about $75, $80, and you're looking, I paid £22. So okay, yeah, it is a big jump. But if you're going to have them on display, and you stick them in your display, you stick the stickers on from repro labels, or you have a word with somebody who's got this and they didn't use the stickers for it, then yes, he is a good gap filler in my opinion. But the quality on this guy is a little bit subpar, and I'm not as impressed with him as I was with the Tiger Tracks, or even, to an extent, the Gold Swipe. But all in all, it's still a fantastic looking figure. You know how much I love the G2 mould. It's just that face, it's look. I mean, let's just take a look at these both close up. Let's get him in focus. I mean, as far as moulding goes, they haven't gone completely wrong. They do look very, very similar. It's just the subtle differences. Just the shading and the fine detailing are kind of make and break on this for me. So, yes, this is my comparison of the £22 knockoff compared to the original Takara release. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. If anybody else has already got this figure, then let me know if you're plagued with these same problems. It may just be that mine's plagued with these problems. You know, you could get yours and it could be absolutely perfect. But unfortunately, treading through the forums on TFW, it kind of seems to be pretty much across the board, unfortunately. So I'm going to take a few pictures of some of the defects on this guy, and I'll put them at the end of the video. So enjoy those. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching. For myself, G2 Sideswipe and his inferior imposter. Goodbye.